Hello, everybody. I thought I was live and I was not. So, for the past 4 minutes, I've been talking to myself. Oh my goodness, I'm still getting to use this thing. I hope everybody's well out there. Definitely not well here in our world. We have not been well at all. Been very sick, actually. I had to call the ambulance yesterday for Kathy. She's hospitalized currently, and I want to talk about that. We were supposed to go live last night and announce the winners of the giveaway. Um, so we have those winners we want to announce this morning. So I'm hoping that we'll get some people in here and we can get the winners announced. But Kathy is very, very sick. She's not well at all. And we definitely want to send her some love here. Good morning, Melanie. Yeah, Kathy, she is not in good shape. Her white cell count was critically high yesterday. Um, I had to call the ambulance because she fainted on me. We were sitting there talking, and next thing you know, she just fell out and it scared the daylights out of me. So I called 911. Her blood oxygen level was in the 60s, and she just wasn't doing well. And we were supposed to go live last night and present the winners of our first giveaway. And I wanted to explain to everyone this morning what happened. So, we weren't trying to not get those winners announced. We just had a medical emergency. She's luckily she's not on a ventilator or anything, which is really good news. They're putting her on BiPAP to scrub the CO2 out of her system. Um, I don't know. They did a COVID test. It's not. We do not have COVID. So whatever this is, it's not COVID, but it's nasty. And they test her for the flu too, and it's not the flu either. So who knows? I don't know. It has to be more than a cold, but I heard RSV was going around too. So I'm not sure. RSV in a COPD patient is awful. I have some of her results here. She gave me permission to share with everyone. So, how are you doing this morning, Melody? I hope all is well with you. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel you big time there. We've all got it over here. It's been awful, just awful. So it's been just a nightmare. Oh, wow. Oh, so you probably have autoimmune issues if you're on immunosuppressants. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, I have autoimmune diseases too, and it does take a long time. My body already wants to attack itself, let alone I won't have no time keeping my body from attacking my own body. Uh, So I feel like that's horrible. Oh, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. They thought I had Crohn's for a while, and luckily, it was not Crohn's. So I have a similar issue as well. It's not ulcerative colitis though, but those are so awful. Oh, good, good, good. I'm so happy for that. Ulcerative colitis is no joke. It's awful stuff. But yeah, Kathy, she was trying her best to stay strong and not give in to the sickness, but her body just finally told her, "Look, we're not handling this well. Get to the hospital now." I kept taking her Biox, and she kept having me change the batteries in the machine of those we have oximeter that test her oxygen levels in her blood, and I changed the batteries 3 times. And finally, after a third battery change, and she tested me, she tested her boyfriend, she tested our friend. After testing everyone in the house and all of our stuff was reading normal, then she finally realized, hey, this has to be reading right for me, and I need to get to the hospital. She just didn't want to believe it that she was that sick. And that was kind of the thing. Our brother Jim, he was sort of the same way. He wouldn't want to believe he was sicker than what he was. So I think that's a family trait there. That's not very good at all to have. So I've been like pretty worried. But her white cell count was 20, which is critically high. So they were very worried about that. They found, I'm going to read her, um, they found she has pneumonia, and um, so they started her on Levaquin for the pneumonia, and they admitted her to the internal medicine team. Um, they said that her chest X-ray looked like it was COVID, but she's testing negative for COVID. So whatever it is acts like COVID, similar to COVID in the way that it presents. I'm so glad she's at the hospital in good hands too. Last time this happened, um, they said they think she survived the weekend if she wasn't in the hospital. Like her doctor, we went to just a regular doctor's appointment, and I had been fighting with her for like a couple of days to go to the hospital. Well, she said, I got a doctor's appointment. Let's go to my doctor's. And the doctor said, the doctor straight up said, if you wouldn't have came in today, and so I could admit you, I don't think you'd survive the weekend. So she says she's come close to the worst possible many, many times over. And of course, our car was stolen. I don't know if anybody knows this story, but we had a Jeep and it was stolen. And so getting up there to see her is almost a nightmare, you know. To get a ride from friends or call an Uber, and so it's been nuts. This whole situation has been insane. She's trying her best to stay in good spirits. I was hoping more people would have joined by now. Oh, we have 4 people in here now. That's good. Figured it might take some time because this wasn't a planned stream. Um, but yeah, she's in pretty bad shape. Um, they're worried, they're worried about if she gets too bad, if she goes on a respirator, they don't know if they'll be able to get her off of it. So that's a big concern with her COPD since it's so advanced. So I'm hoping it doesn't get that bad. So I know I don't know why people can't keep their hands off people's stuff. You know what's so funny, Melanie? Here's what happened. Me and my sister, we go to Starbucks every morning. Well, we used to when we had our Jeep. to go get a coffee. Well, we went to Starbucks one morning and my headlights were on and the inside lights of my Jeep were on. And I was like, that's weird. And I thought maybe it was just an anomaly. Maybe I didn't turn them off the night before. But for the car to start right up, I thought that was also weird. And then, so it just kept, every morning we'd go out there like 4 days in a row, the lights were on, the inside lights. And then we thought, well, maybe someone's just searching for money or change. But see, I couldn't lock all the doors because the driver's side window in the back passenger window wouldn't, it was stuck halfway up. And we had to have that fixed. We were in the process of getting the motor fixed in that window. So were able to get in it. And finally, I think what happened was every day they were trying it, hot wire it every single day. And finally, on that fourth day, they were able to be successful. It's insane. Kathy, she wants a coffee so bad. I feel so bad. She's up there in the hospital, like, oh, if I could just have a coffee. I'm like, you poor thing. I'm like, if I could bring you one, I absolutely would. I feel so bad for her. She is so addicted to Starbucks, y'all. You have no idea. But the fact that she's craving coffee and stuff, it was a good sign to me that she's still trying to deal with that. Oh, thanks. Hey, Barb. Hope you're doing okay. I haven't talked to you in a while. Oh, it's 5:15 where you are, Melanie. Oh, okay. That's probably why it's taking a while for people to get in the stream. Yeah, I hope you've been doing all right. I've been doing okay. I've been hanging in there. Been just doing our thing. We had a horrible, since I talked to you, Barb, we had a horrible apartment fire. It destroyed everything we owned. And we had to start over. We're still recovering from that fire. It was awful just a year ago. Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, Melanie, I bet someone took your catalytic converter and sold it. There was a thing lately uh, where I heard people were stealing catalytic converters and selling them for money off people's cars. Oh, I'm so glad it missed your house. Because I'm telling you, stuff like that comes out of the blue that you don't expect just is insane. With our apartment fire, my sister and I were out shopping all day and we had to go get new cell phones, right? So we were out getting new cell phones that morning. We went to the grocery store. I was getting ready to have back surgery that Monday. And so we decided, well, hey, let's get some Texas Roadhouse. Have one really good dinner before, before your surgery. I was like, oh, yeah, sounds good. Crossed the Texas Roadhouse, came home. And this was about 2 in the afternoon. We got home. And we came in the house. And we didn't even put none of our stuff away. We just threw our shit down, ate dinner. Then we all took a nap. We all passed out and took a nap. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I woke up like an hour later. Actually, it's about 45 minutes later because it took me about 15 minutes or so to eat. And then I fell asleep pretty quick. Um, so I woke up around 4 o'clock and I went to the bathroom and I was sitting there on the toilet and then I heard glass break. And I was like, I yelled because I thought my sister had like dropped a cup or something. And I said, Kathy, are you in the kitchen breaking shit? And she didn't answer me. And I thought, okay. And if she would have broke something, she would have been cussing and carrying on. She'd been like, oh shit, this sucks, blah blah blah. And she would have said something about it. And I didn't hear anything. I thought that's weird. So I was half asleep sitting on the toilet and I was like, I guess I'll get up and go see what that was. And I went to the kitchen, I didn't see anything. And I looked down the hall, I didn't see anything. And then I went back towards my sister's room, and then I walked into the living room, and fire was coming through my back door. It started out on the balcony, and we lived on the second floor of the building, and this fire was raging. Like it had us nearly trapped already, but because it was burning so hot outside, when it came in, it just kind of went whoosh and really kind of, I don't know what they call it, backdraft or something like that, but it went like whoosh, and you could hear fire cracking all around us. This smoke got so thick and so dense so fast, like I couldn't see in front of my face, like I couldn't see anything. And I ran to my sister's room, and I'm sitting there trying to find her on the bed, and I'm like hitting her leg. I'm like, gotta get up, the house is on fire, wake up, wake up. Our smoke detectors didn't go off or anything until the fire was in the living room. And I said, get out, the house, the apartment's on fire, we gotta get out now. Like we left it was January 30th and 31st. We just ran out of the apartment, and in no socks, no shoes, in our nightgown, and it's like 0 degree weather, snow and ice and everything out there. I'm sitting there standing in water from the fire hoses. I'm literally standing in like an inch or two of water while they're trying to put this fire out. We're shivering and freezing, and we lost everything. It was a nightmare. We didn't have any injuries, except we did suffer pretty bad smoke inhalation. We had what was called a chemical pneumonia. We all got chemical pneumonia from smoke inhalation. So that was pretty bad, but it luckily we escaped with our lives, but we barely got out of there because once that door, I mean, it's like once it got the air, it's like it just, I don't know, it was weird. It just like rushed the fire inside so fast. I couldn't believe that, like it was at the back door, and then 2 seconds later it was like on top of me. Oh, so yep, we lost our home theater, everything we worked on. It was all gone. Didn't have renter's insurance. So everything we lost. I worked so hard on that theater. I was so proud of it, Barb. But you know what? I'm gonna replace it. So we've been pretty broke this last year, because we've been trying our hardest to just replace things a little bit at a time as we can. But we're making it. Oh, it's so scary, Melanie. I'm telling you. I couldn't believe how fast it came at me. Like as soon as the back door popped open, it was like whoosh, and it was so hot. Oh, it was so hot. I mean, the heat was incredible. Oh my goodness, Barb, Ida, that's really scary. Yeah, we do have a GoFundMe. Although we haven't put it out there at all. But hold on, let me go find it. We do have one. It has all the pictures of the fire and everything. Um, and then of course we have PayPal. Let me, what was it? I'm gonna find that link. I had a. I just never advertised to GoFundMe. I don't know why. We just don't really. We should do that more, especially now that we're doing YouTube. Um, let me see. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I'm just looking for it real quick. Here it is. All right. Um, the name of the GoFundMe is Urgent Need of Healing, Hope, and Peace of Mind. And I'm gonna drop it right here for you in chat. Yeah, we're just not good at asking for donations. You know what I mean? We're always so independent, and it's hard for us. Even though when we have a YouTube and we know that donations and stuff like that is how we can support our YouTube page and help with internet bills or equipment so we can make good videos and things like that. Even though we know it's for our bills and 5% of all our donations we always give back to charity. Um, it's still, I don't know why it's hard for us. We need to get better at it. But that link, you'll see the fire. It was pretty bad. It was a horrible fire. But in the picture, it was like that second story, the second apartment. The apartment on the right hand side, the second one is our apartment. I've got lots of video from the fire and stuff. It was pretty messed up. I know, I loved all that stuff, Barb. I loved it so much. You know, I am, I'm going to get it all back a little bit at a time. I, COVID was so boring, having to stay inside. And I thought, why not bring the fun from outside to the inside? Let's make our own movie theater and arcade. And we lost all of our beautiful arcade systems. The Miss Pac-Man, the Turtles, Legends Ultimate, our Mortal Kombat, and Marvel ones, but that's okay. We keep saying bigger and better, and we'll just do it a thing at a time. Let's do one thing at a time until we rebuild everything. It's really difficult, but we'll make it. And with my brother passing away, there's just been so many things that have hit us out of the blue. We're like bigger, better, one thing at a time, one step at a time. And we also have it just is what it is. We're gonna get there. I just, I keep hoping I'm not gonna have a situation with my sister that I just had with my brother. That scares me so badly. I worry about it all the time. It's just constant worry. Um, she just. Oh, Barb, I didn't know if you knew this though. I started writing books. I was writing books then though too. So you might know that. But yeah, I was writing. I have all those self-help books and stuff out there. So, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so we have those. I've been working on. Oh, we must talk about what's coming up this holiday season on the channel. Uh, Christmas Eve, we're having a Misfits Merry Christmas right here on Let's Have Some Fun. And we're going to invite all the people out there who maybe are the black sheep of the family, maybe feel like they don't quite fit in, or maybe feel like they're the black sheep and really they're not. But but they just don't feel like they fit in anywhere. Well, they can fit in right here with us. And we're going to have some games and prizes, and we're going to enjoy a fun Misfits Merry Christmas. Oh, yes. My sister's been my rock as much as I've been hers. We've been there for each other quite a bit. And, you know, being like, I don't know if it's that we're twins or if it's, or what it is, but, we have something between us that we just don't have with anyone else. And I think that is just a full sense of trust. Like, we can get in a horrible argument, and I know for absolute fact the next day she's going to wake up loving me as much as she did, or even more the next day. Like, I know there's nothing I could ever do that would make her not want to be in my life, or vice versa. Like, we have a good trust between us because we know neither one of us would ever hurt each other bad enough for that to ever happen. And after, being a victim of narcissistic abuse for so many years, that was a very difficult thing to get out of. I still am scarred by it. My son David and I's relationship, um, he's still working on it quite a bit, dealing with the aftermath. Lucy and Daniel are good though. Lucy's like, she's pretty good about it all, and so is Daniel, but David struggles some. Oh, it's okay, Melanie. Thanks for visiting the GoFundMe. That was a horrible fire, wasn't it? The second story apartment was ours, the one on the right hand side, second story. We're we've really been trying hard to replace everything. It's just been really rough. But we figure one thing at a time, even if it's one $30 item, one $20 item, whatever, you know. It's just, we'll get there, we'll get there, we'll get there, and it doesn't have to be tomorrow or the next day. Because the truth of the matter is, we can't take things with us anyway. When our time's up on this earth, we can't take it with us. So, it's okay. We'll replace what we can. We'll enjoy our days. And oh man, our neighbors treated us so badly after the fire. We suffered from racism, abuse, and everything as a result of that fire. Matter of fact, I guess we can talk about that since Melanie brought it up. Okay, this is what happened. Okay, the fire started on our balcony. And for the last week or so, our air conditioning unit had been making this funky noise. And we called the apartments and told them about it. Um, oh, definitely, Barb. We explained to the apartment complex that it was sounding funky, and there was there was an exposed wire, and it felt warm to the touch down there in the corner. And we called, and we mentioned it. Well, um, so we think that's probably where it started because it's the only thing that makes sense. Because the Christmas lights were turned off, they were unplugged altogether. They were there, but they were unplugged. So no fuel to those. If there's, you know, something that can't catch fire if it doesn't have a source. So those were unplugged. So we think it probably happened, or the fire department said that someone could have been smoking upstairs and dropped a cigarette or something down onto our, studio, because we have wood beams, as the balcony is like wood beams, and there's like, so you can like put stuff through those beams if you wanted to. So, they may have dropped a cigarette or something, and it smoldered on our. Um, we had a futon out there, so it's quite possible that that could have happened as well. They just don't know. They said that, but anyways, our neighbors were started in on that It started on our apartment. They said that they started saying, you know how them white girls love meth. So they said we had a meth lab. Um, they said that we were drunks and we drank all day and night, and we probably started the fire by being drunk, even though we were outside with them, perfectly sober when the fire occurred. You know what I mean? And we were standing outside with everybody. But they're like, yeah, these white girls, you know how they are. And all we heard about these white girls this, these white girls that. You know how they love that meth stuff. All white girls love that meth. They was probably cooking that meth out there. Number one, why would I cook meth on a balcony? I don't even know how you make meth, actually. I don't even know what it's made from or what it looks like or anything, but or even how you ingest it. But because I've never dealt with meth before. So but they're talking about we was outside on a balcony cooking it. Yeah, I said all kinds of stuff about us, and it all had to do with our race, and it was awful. We never felt so violated and singled out in all of our lives. And the apartment complex managers also bought into this, and they refused to give us another apartment until they got the fire report back. Absolutely refused. So we were forced to pay for extra lodging that we couldn't afford to be paying like that because they didn't have the fire report back. And we actually, it went as far as we had to have the fire chief call them and tell them that we did not start that fire because we were cleared of any wrongdoing whatsoever. So they said that the cause was undetermined. It started in the corner of the balcony where I called and complained about the sparks from the thing in first place. I know, right? I know, Barb. And the truth of the matter is, I live in an area that's where I'm the minority. So, and a lot of people here are really cool. You know, I have to say, I have lots of neighbors who don't think nothing about race just like I don't. But the people in the building I lived in at that time, they all were like that. So far, so good in the building I'm in now. But I couldn't believe it. They were up there. They called the cops. They were telling the police. They were telling the police even that we had a meth lab. They were passing this fake information back and forth to each other. And it was even had a police investigation opened up about it. And they found absolutely no wrongdoing. No kind of meth, no remnants of any kind of drugs, nothing. Matter of fact, I told him, I said, you can drug test me right now. Please. I hope you do. I said, if you got a female officer, call one out. I'll take a piss test right now. So, I mean, I couldn't believe it. You know, it's the first time I've ever been a victim of racism in my life. And, it was definitely racial profiling. It was no doubt about it. The things they said about us were awful. My neighbor said some horrible things, all because I'm white. Everything they said had to do with my race and nothing to do about with me as a person. They never. I mean, there's like signs on our door, on our front door, that said no smoking, oxygen in the home because Kathy has COPD and she's on oxygen. So like we're gonna be cooking meth where there's, like we're telling our neighbors don't have lit cigarettes or anything like that around our apartment, that there's oxygen in use, yet we're in there cooking meth. I mean, it makes no sense whatsoever. Like, and our neighbors, the woman who lived above us, she tried to physically fight me and my sister. You can? What does it smell like, Barb? Absolutely, you do. My neighbors in this situation happen to be prejudiced. Unfortunately, the neighbors I had, I think what it was, they were angry about losing their homes, which is perfectly understandable. I understand they were probably upset because it happened on our balcony and wanted someone to blame. But to bring our race into it, to um, you know, racially profile us, and even go as far as calling the police and giving them false reports of I heard, and all the reports was I heard they were making meth because all it was one person telling one person something, one person telling something else, and it all started off with I bet they was cooking meth out there. You know how those white girls like meth. That I heard them say that. I was so shocked when I heard them say that. It cut me to the core. It devastated me. I felt so devastated that they would even think something like that. These are people that every morning I greeted with a smile. If I saw my neighbor coming out their door, I'd be like, "Hi, how you doing? Have a nice day." I thought we were good. No, they were angry about their homes being burnt down, and they wanted to blame someone, and they used my race and the fact that white girls love meth, and we had them been cooking something out there, even though I was in my nightgown because had been sleeping. I told my neighbors, I said, I was asleep when this started. See, I'm wearing my nightgown. Yep, that's how my daddy said too. My dad said, somebody asked my dad one time, it was actually a black man from our congregation, because we were the only white family in our church congregation. And oh, it was a wonderful congregation too. We loved it there. But he came up to my dad and he said, he asked my dad, he was just curious. He said, how would you feel if your daughter ever married a black man? And I'll never forget what my dad said. My dad said, listen, I don't care about that part. I don't care about the color of skin. All I want to hear about is how he feels about my daughter, what he intends for my daughter, what he plans their future to look like, and does he have a good job? Is he a God fearing man? Like he was like my dad like said this whole list of things, you know what I mean? And he said, the last thing I care about is the color of his skin. I want the color of the man's skin. I want to know what he's got planned for my child. That's all I care about. And I never ever I never, heard anyone ask that question before, and I was just shocked at my dad's answer. I thought it was so wonderful. So basically, my dad was saying, "Look, I don't care if he's black. I care what his intentions are." So that was awesome. You know, so that's how our father raised us, was to judge people based on that person, not based on anything other than who they are, how well they treat you. You know, that's all that matters. So I take people as they come. You know what I mean? If I meet someone on the street and if they're colored, not colored, that part is not the first thing I think about. You know, if I hear somebody say something cool and I'm like, oh, that's interesting, and I, say something to them or whatever, I'm not thinking about, color of skin. I'm thinking about what they're talking about. It sounds good. That's how I was raised, and it's always been second nature to me, you know. So it was really hurtful when the first time in my life I was actually a victim of racism, and that's okay. I mean, I'm glad that it happened because now I understand what it's like for you know being a victim of it. I understand the pain that it causes, the how it affects your self-esteem. It really affected my self-esteem quite a bit, you know, because it made me think about the things that my ancestors may have done, on the flip side, So, I don't know. But listen to this, y'all. I'm going to change the subject just for a second because this is interesting. All right. So, Kathy and I are going to do a show coming up very soon. I agree. Barb, get people the same energy they give you. Yep. Bad people come in all sizes, and so do good people. You better believe it. And when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. I learned that lesson from my last marriage. I wanted to believe so bad he was somebody he wasn't. I just wanted to believe so bad that he was altruistic and good hearted and just loved me and my kids, and I was safe. I wanted to believe it so bad, but it just wasn't true. And I I didn't want to believe it. So, and he showed me who he really was so many times over, and I just didn't believe it. So that's another lesson learned too. If someone shows you who they really are, believe them. 100% believe them. Okay, so I'm gonna tell a little story. This is actually pretty funny. Um, okay, so there is a chance, a pretty good chance actually, that I'm biracial. I'm actually mixed. I'm probably 90-10 African American and Caucasian, German. My Caucasian side is German and Welsh. Here's how I found out. There's a family story going around. Okay, I did my ancestry, okay, and I did my ancestry on my mom's side, and her mother and father, I could take all the way back. And also on my mom's side, there's royalty in her family on her mom's side, so it went back even to the 1100s because of all the church documents, because they kept good records for royalty even back then. So, but my dad's side, my dad's mother, I could take back, quite a ways. I couldn't take it back as far as I could on my mom's side, but I could take her, the side, uh, quite a bit. And I found out that they're part Portuguese, and my grandmother's part Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese. So that was pretty cool to find out. And my dad's dad stops at my great grandfather. Agreed, Eliza. Definitely. There'll be a lesson or a blessing. No doubt about it. Absolutely no doubt. So, my dad's side ends with my great grandfather. And I should have more information on him, being a white man, he should have, birth records and stuff. It should have gone back. I should have been able to see. But my great grandfather had no social security number. There was no set birth date for him. And everyone called him, and forgive the term everyone, because I'm in telling the story. I want to tell the story as it was told to me. His nickname given back then, now this was like the 1800s, early 1900s, was Knicker Bill. That's what they called him. My great grandfather, that's what they called him. And it was said that they called him that because he loved black women. He preferred black women over white women. So that's why they called him that. That's the story, right? Well, I started going through all the census data on my great grandfather, and listen to what I found. Okay, I found that he was living in a black family and his race on there was black. Another census showed that he was living in a white family, but his race was called ruddy, which is like um, kind of like a reddish brown color. And then another census said, what was, I think, what's the name of that word? Mulatto. Mulatto. They called him, it said he was mulatto, which was half black, half white. And then, of course, we found census data that said he was just white. So here's what I believe. I believe, since I can't find any information that past him, like I can't find his parents or his parents' parents, his any brothers or sisters, nothing on him. There's a reason for that. There has to be a logical explanation. And the fact that they called him that name, the N-word Bill, I think it wasn't because he enjoyed black women and he preferred them. I think it was because he was African American. Absolutely. So I think that that is so interesting. I don't think any of us are full anything. Not even the whitest Nazi person out there. We got some Jew in them or something, that they're hiding somewhere. It is an awful name. They called him that. It is an awful name. But being that time period, the 1800s, 1900s, they back then, like that was just what they called him. But that's what they called him. They called him the N-word Bill. That was what my grandfather was called. So I think he was light enough to pass as a white man. I don't think he may have been even more than half. You know, that is a horrible part of American history. I think he may have even been enslaved because why is there no data on him, no church records? Because freed slaves had church records, even where birth dates and christenings and things. So, but there's none on him or his family, so I'm thinking he was probably enslaved and was recently freed. I think that's what I believe happened to my grandfather. I could be completely wrong, but Kathy and I are going to do an ancestry test and we're going to reveal the results live on YouTube to see if what I suspect is true is really true or not. It's just so interesting. It is so interesting. Um, so I really do. I think I'm biracial as well. I think I'm triracial. You think about it. I know I'm part German, for absolutely no doubt about that. I'm a quarter German, because my mom's half German. Um, and because her last name, her maiden name was Reif, Reif, and her father had immigrated, so he was full blood, she was half, and I'm a quarter, so I know that for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna find the archives, Melanie. There are archives we can look into. I'm gonna go. Actually, Kathy and I are thinking of taking a trip to Ohio to go through some of the records there because that's just where it all transpired. We're going to see if he was possibly a slave. If there's any records of him being owned by anyone. Um, I really think he was a free slave. And I think he tried very hard to hide it. And I don't blame him if he was light enough to pass as Caucasian, and just like, maybe, I can understand why he would do that because his life was probably so much easier to do that. So I can understand why he would have done that. I'm sad that he feels like he should have hid that, but at the same time, I'm not mad at him for it, just because I understand. His life was probably very hard. So I'm very, very. That's a good idea, Barb. Look and see if the surname was changed. And you know what's so funny, Barb? My son Daniel, he texted me the other day on Messenger, and because he had started looking up our family history. Because I told him the story about my grandfather. He didn't believe it. He thought I was making it up. I don't know why you would think I'd make that up. Like, I'm just gonna sit and think of a story. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. Can you guys hear me now? But it was just really interesting, actually. So, anyways, my son calls me, says, "Hey, mom, guess what I found?" And he found the same thing. He found all the census data. He found um, that he said, "Wow, uh, mom, you're right. Everything you told me was right on the money. I found the same thing." I said, "See?" So I said, "Why would you think I would just make something like that up?" He said, "I don't know, Mom, because stories like that are so fun. And it'd be fun to be a part of a neat mystery that you can solve." I said, "Well, now you know we do have a family mystery, and it'll be fun to solve it." So he's going to help me solve it as well. He's going to get involved in solving the mystery. And I'm pretty sure we're going to find out the truth. So it's pretty interesting. I thought it was pretty cool to find that out. So Kathy, oh, and then Kathy and I are also going to do a test to see if we're identical fraternal twins. Our doctor said we were fraternal when we were born, but there's no way we are too identical to each other to be fraternal. So we're going to do an actual test and reveal those results live as well, because we thought that would be fun. Kathy's calling me from the hospital. Let's answer.
Hello?
Kathy, we're live on YouTube. I have you on speakerphone.
Hi.
Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
I told them how sick you were and everything that happened. How you fainted on me. And
Yeah, I'm in the hospital, but um, guess what?
what?
The doctor's standing right outside my door, and he says that he's comfortable sending me home.
Really?
Yes, but only because there's nothing that they can do for me any more here today than they can do for me at home.
But what about
Like
your oxygen?
this,
You're on 10 liters of oxygen. How are you going to have
well,
that?
they got me back down to 4, but they had to give me like a triple dose of albuterol 3 different times, a triple dose, all in one sitting. You know how badly I was shaking. I shook so bad. I was like, I felt like an Energizer bunny or something. And also, um, the steroids. They had to bring me into the hospital because they had to make sure that they could get me back to my baseline without dropping. You know,
Really?
so they got me back to my baseline, and I'm around sitting at 90, between 90 and 91 on my baseline. And with me being sick, that probably wouldn't change.
Okay.
So it'll probably go up after I start getting better. But he asked me honestly, he said, "Do you want to go home today or would you like to go home tomorrow?" And
I
I
know
said,
you said today.
yep.
Yeah, we
You
already
know
know
me.
that, don't we, guys? Yeah, that's true, Barb. She can sleep in her own bed. That's funny because I go into her room every few hours at night anyway because I take care of her. I'm like I do like home care for her all the time, and I'll go in there and see how she's sleeping. If she's sleeping funky, I'll have her like turn over to her side, put a pillow between her legs, or I'll put pillows up behind her back because she needs to sleep kind of elevated to get better airflow. So I'm always in there messing with her at night anyway. So I'm gonna keep a watchful eye on her. She already knows I will anyway.
Yeah, you understand that. You know, what I have is obviously a virus, and my lungs don't look good. I mean, they look terrible on his
Mm.
head, but it's because I got all that
Melanie wishes you
stuff in
well.
there. Huh?
Melanie said she wishes you well.
Thank you, Melanie. But it's pneumonia. And they gave me this really cool device. You know how we've been doing pity pats on me, Christy,
Yep.
hitting my chest and stuff, trying to break this shit up.
Yep.
Well, guess what? There's a machine that I blow into, and it vibrates my lungs as I exhale. So we don't have to do pity pats anymore. You're
Oh,
gonna love.
nice.
You're gonna love this thing. It's a new machine. Oh,
Oh,
it's all.
yes. Hey, Barb says she hopes you feel better.
Thank you, Barb. I'm just tired of being put in the hospital all the
Well,
time.
Kathy, you're,
Like I can't. This is my home away from home.
yeah, everyone, I told everyone
So
that
when
you're
I get the
terminal.
option to go home, I'm going home.
Yep. I let everybody know the situation. We've been talking. Here's what we've been discussing. We've been discussing, your illness, of course.
Yeah.
Talk about the Misfits Merry Christmas thing. How those people are feeling alone, and maybe they don't fit in well with their families. They could always get on here with us and have
Did
a.
you tell them about the giveaway?
No, I haven't announced the giveaway winners yet. I'm going to do that. If you're going to come home, how about you announce the giveaway winners tonight? Since you'll be home, would be a good way to celebrate you coming home. You can announce your winners yourself. You want to? Oh, I put it on hold, y'all.
In the comment section, and try to leave only one comment because we're going to use the YouTube comment picker to pick the two winners. It's two different people that will win.
Yeah, I was going to announce them today, but I'll let you do that tonight. So everyone has till tonight to enter the contest. What time do you want to get on there and just announce your winners?
Well, all I say was,
I'm sorry, somehow it keeps muting you. Oh, sorry, it keeps muting you. Go ahead, say that again. Can you guys hear Kathy?
I said, why don't we just do this, pick the winners tomorrow when I probably might be feeling a little better.
Okay, well, come on live tomorrow, and we'll announce the winners tomorrow, everyone. That way, Kathy can announce her very own winners because this is her contest for her crocheted life playlist here on Let's Have Some Fun. So she's gonna come on and do that tomorrow herself. And oh, good. I'm so glad you can hear her loud and clear. I have the microphone close to the phone.
They can hear
there.
me loud and clear.
Yep, Barb says they can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, that's amazing. Yay. I should open up my tablet.
Oh, thanks for everything, Melanie. And I just saw what you did on the fundraiser, and we thank you so much. It's so sweet of you. You're so amazing. We appreciate the love. And if anyone else wants to show some love, help Kathy out, help us out, just during a little bit of hardship, you can always send PayPal as well to at Chrissy 2012. I'll put the link in the chat too.
don't forget, 5% of all donations go to charity.
Yep, 5% of every donation at the end of the month will go to a charity that we'll choose as a community. We'll do a vote and on the community tab, and everyone can put in the comments their favorite charity, and then we'll choose the charities and we'll vote on them. And even if they only get $10 a month because we didn't get very many donations or something, who really cares? It's the giving back that's the most important, because it's always good to get, but it's also great. I mean, it's nice to receive, but it's also even better to give. So that's how we look at it. We want our channel to, of course, we want our channel to thrive and be successful, but we also want to help leave a legacy and help leave a mark on this world if we can.
And also, the donations go to great giveaways.
Oh yes, it's been totally hell. The rebuilding since that fire, Barb, has been a nightmare. I don't know if you saw the picture of the fire on the GoFundMe page. Oh my God, it's been a nightmare.
Oh yeah.
As a matter of fact, on one of my
everything.
on the welcome back video on Let's Have Some Fun, I have a let's see what video that is. Talks about the apartment fire. Let me see what video I put that on. You can see actual video of the fire if you're curious. Let me see.
I want to cry every time I see that video.
I know, it was so awful. Yeah, it was welcome back to Let's Have Some Fun. Where's Chrissy been? The wedding and apartment fire. It's part 3, called the next chapter.
Chrissy,
Yeah.
you think Angie will let you come pick me up?
I don't know. I'll have to see. I will definitely see. But we're still live, so we'll talk about it in a second, okay?
Oh yeah. See, I'm having brain farts, guys, because I'm just, that's what you get when I have oxygen.
Do you think they'll give you a Medicaid cab home?
I asked, but I mean, who knows? It's Sunday. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It'd be better if Angie could.
Yeah, I don't. Well, because her plates are expired, so I don't know if she'll go that far or not. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
It's not that far.
It's a little far, Kathy. You're out there off it. It's a distance. I'll see what she'll do. I can't tell somebody to do something. I will ask her for you, though. Absolutely.
She's gone further than that. So.
Yeah, she does just want to come home. I'm gonna try and see about getting her home, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today.
They were going to send me home tomorrow, but I could go home today if I wanted to. And I was like, yeah.
So what time are you going to be ready to go?
He's getting it together right now. He said probably within the next hour or two.
Okay, well, call me when you're ready. And in the meantime, I'll try and figure it out, okay?
Okay.
I promise we'll get you home somehow.
Okay, well, I'm going to jump on the chat.
All right, yep, I was telling them about our car being stolen. Yeah, we're going to get it sorted out. Definitely so. So, Angie said you should already know we'll go get her. Well, she said we'll go get you even though your plates are expired. She'll make.
I'll be tell Angie I love her. Thank you.
Okay. She said she loves you, Angie. Or you probably heard her say it. All right. Well, I guess Kathy's sorted out now.
Okay. Well, I love everybody. I'm jumping on the chat.
Okay. Well, the stream's going to end now because we're pretty much done. Huh?
Okay.
All right. Well, we love you, Kathy.
I love you.
All right.
Thank you,
babe.
everybody.
Okay. Bye, babe.
Bye.
I want to thank everybody so much. Sorry, my microphone, you guys, for joining the stream today. Oh my gosh, Barb. A firestorm? I can't even imagine a firestorm. Oh, that's okay, Barb. It's whenever we don't mind. We're pretty laid back over here, you know. Mm. Well, we appreciate you looking out, and have to wait till after Christmas. That's cool, man. We still love you. We still want you here, even if you never did. So we just want to have some fun over here because times get rough, and it's just good to let go. Have some fun once in a while. Things have been so nutty and crazy, but I thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. And Kathy will be on here tomorrow herself to announce her own winners. So I think that's awesome. She'll get to do it herself. I was kind of sad having to do that for her, because it just made me sad. Again, that's her first playlist, you know what I mean? Our first channel thing. And so it kind of makes me sad for her when she's trying to do her thing because this crochet life thing was her own idea, and I have my own stuff to deal with. So I'm glad we're gonna go get Kathy in just a little while, and everything will be good. So, well, thank you all for joining us. So definitely stay tuned for tomorrow night. Kathy's gonna announce her own winners. I thank you for everything you guys do, but just being here, and hanging out with me and everything that just, oh yeah, Barbara, I'm gonna totally baby crap out of her. Yeah, I always baby her. She's like, I mean, she's my twin. I don't know if it's a twin thing or what, but yeah, it's just, she's my everything. Oh, she's calling me back. Let's see what she has to say. What's up? We're still
Make sure
live.
you bring my portable because he absolutely will not let me walk out of here without, I think, oxygen, the nurse just said.
Okay, I'll bring your portable.
Okay.
Okay, love you.
Love you too.
Call
Looks
me when
like
you're
it might be
ready.
sooner than 2 hours.
Okay, babe, let me know, and I'll be
Okay,
there
I
to get you.
will. All right.
Okay,
I
Angie
love
said we
you.
can go, so we'll be there.
Okay.
Love
All right. I love
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh yes, she's gonna be in wonderful hands. I just love her so much. She's like my everything. She's really gone through a hard time. And oh, everybody, I didn't tell you this. Before we get off here today, I want everyone to know I don't have the video out yet. This video is going to be a little controversial because Kathy has given me permission to use some of the pictures and videos I have during her time as a using drug addict. She wants to show her journey, which I think is very brave of her. She just celebrated 3 years of sobriety, December 15th. She really struggled with this for such a long time. And if you guys knew how bad she suffered from addiction, and she also has mental health problems as well, like PTSD and severe depression and anxiety issues. And when you have a mental problem, and she also suffers from what she says mildly schizophrenic. It's not like bad, but mildly. Um, the doctor said my father was a full blown schizophrenic, but they think she suffers from it a little bit. And so when you have a mental health problem and you self medicate, her addiction came on by her trying to self medicate and fix whatever's going on in her brain, whatever made her feel normal or her sense of normal. And it was awful. Her sense of normal was just not living. She was a zombie most of the time. It was really awful to see, scary to watch, but she's agreed to do this because she wants to help people who may be in the heart of their addiction see the other side. Me personally, um, I have, let's see, it's been now, because I got with JB in 2011. No, 2010. No, it was 2009. Oh my God. It was December 2009. At that time, I had been sober just 3 years. So, oh my God, I got to calculate it. I don't know how long it's been for me, you guys. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's been a long time since I've had any problems like that. 2009, I was at 3 years. So let's see, 2022 minus 20. Oh, here maybe 2023. So I might as well just do it from there. Uh, 2023 minus 2009 was 14 years. Then add 3, so I've got 17 years of sobriety. 17 years. So that's a long time. If I'm so used to being sober now, it feels like a lifetime ago. You know what I mean? Like another me. Like it's like weird how you separate that in your mind after it's been so long. But she she really has done so well, and I have never been more proud of her. And no one could get her off this stuff. Everyone tried, and actually, I don't think anyone tried. Actually, okay, I'm gonna keep it real. I think the people in my family just got frustrated with her, and just kind of pushed her to the side. It was like they didn't want to deal with it. She needed someone in the family to love her enough to deal with it. And so when I came back, I said, "Oh hell no!" You know what I mean? I've been sober for, like I didn't at the time. I think I was saying like 12 years, but it's really been 14 at that time when I came back into the picture. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna be around this. I haven't been in any part of this life in so long. No, we're not doing it. So I made life so hard for her. I searched for her stuff. I flushed it in the toilet. She went through so much money replacing stuff all the time. And then I would like take money out of the bank for stuff that we needed and put it aside. And I'd only leave her like a couple bucks. And I would like I made life very hard for her to use. I could call her dealer and say, look, you call here again, I'm gonna turn you in. I mean, it was rough. We went through a time, and with her, she didn't want to let go. Let's just put it that way. She didn't know how to let go either. It was her. To her, it was her safety net, and I had to teach her new coping skills. And what got her to actually stop was I got frustrated and I left and I said, what I did was I bought a couple of drug tests and she took one and it showed everything in it. And then I left and went to a hotel and said, I'm not dealing with you anymore. I got to think about what I have to do to live my life because I don't want drugs and stuff to be a part of my life. It hasn't been a part of my life for like 12 or 13 years now. And, I'm not going to deal with your crap. I'm trying to help you. It's obvious you don't want help. I'm done. I'm going to have to move on. And she started calling me like if I was a boyfriend she had that was dumping her or something. She called me over and over. Please, please don't leave me. Don't leave me, Christy. Please don't leave me. And she sent me pictures where she had put water, trying to use just plain water for a drug test, and it showed you know, it showed that she didn't have nothing in the system. I said, look at the water droplets on that. That's water. You use plain water. I said, not to mention the fact that you're in in a medicated treatment facility, and the drug that they give you isn't on there. So come on. So I made it hard for her. And when she really thought she was gonna lose me for good, she kicked everything to the curb, and she let go, she let God, and she let me help her. She just finally followed my lead and she let me help her. Because before she didn't let anyone in and didn't let anyone help her. I mean, she was so bad, I can't even describe it. But you guys will see, I have it on video. She's agreed to allow me to show some of that painful journey because she knows that there's someone out there going to see her going through that and relate and maybe touch someone's life and help them get better too. So that's our ultimate goal is we want to help people on this channel. We just like we love people. We want to leave a legacy. We want to have fun. We want to do really good things, and that's really what this channel is all about. Is try and bring some of the goodness in the world to somewhere on the internet where people can feel safe. They can feel be in a chat where they don't feel bullied or talked about or or mistreated in any way. You can just be happy and enjoy our time together, play games, and do whatever it is that we want to do. Because this is our channel, it's our community, and we just want to leave a good legacy. Because the truth of the matter is, you know, I'm getting older, my sister's getting older, and when my one thing my father told us was when we leave this world, the only thing we have it left that we own is our name. And when someone says my name, how do I want them to feel when they say it? And what he told me has stuck with me for a long time. Sticks with me still to this day. So that's why we decided 5% of all channel donations will go to charity. We'll give back. We'll leave a legacy. Even if it's a small legacy, it's still a legacy. We made a mark on somebody's life. We've helped someone get better. So that's all what we want for this channel, and we hope that you guys will join us in that, and we can have so much fun hanging together. And I appreciate all of you being here. You have been so amazing this morning. Honest and truly, I can't thank you enough for hanging out with me and having a little chat. So I wish you all a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you tomorrow night when we go live again with Kathy, home from the hospital. Have a good day, guys. We love you. Oh, hey, Kathy, I was just telling everybody bye. What is this? Free girls chat in your city? I don't think so. We're blocking that. Oh my goodness gracious. Bye, everyone. Thanks, Barb. Thanks, Eliza. Thanks, Melanie, Angie, everyone that's here that maybe didn't chat. We thank you and we love you.